Game Dreamer.
Hi, I am Gaming Dreamer, and this is another series of videos I want to make in this channel, which basically every time I finish something like a movie or a comic or something like that, I want to tell you will not be heavy edited. I don't want to do any heavy edited videos on this channel. I just want to talk about things. So enjoy the gameplay of whatever game I will put on this video, and I want to talk about not one but two volume of the Incredible Hulk Masterwork, Volume 1 and 2. I wanted to make one video for each, but I start thinking about making these videos while I'm in the middle of Volume 2, so I think it's even better idea to do about the first two, because if I tell you what I think about Volume 1, you will not want to read Hulk Masterwork, but if you hear about the second volume, you will change your mind, because it is totally different. It is different between day and night, because The Incredible Hulk Volume 1 suck. The first 6 issue of Hulk was very rough, and by the way, don't think I'm talking about old comic badly, because there are old. I read a lot of old comic. I even read DC comic from the Silver Age, and DC comic from the Silver Age is even more rougher, if this is the word to say it, like more childish in focus and more, but much weirder. So they're acceptable. Okay, I think Hulk is better than them, but they have their own charm. Hulk doesn't. The first 6 issue, at least from issue 3 and to 6, was not that great. The first issues was a classic. The second issue was possible, and then just dropped very hard. So when I say it's like the first issue, everyone know what's going on in the first issue of the Hulk. Bruce Banner, Gamma Bomb. He tried to save that boy Rick Jones, which is removed from all Hulk movies. He didn't do it to save anyone in the movies, but in the comic and even the cartoon, I think he was like want to save this kid, teenager Rick Jones, from a gamma bomb, and this bomb didn't kill him. It turned him into an Incredible Hulk, which he transformed every time he get angry, which is not in the comic. In the first 6 issue, the full Masterworks series, that didn't happen. That's something changed about the Hulk later on, something people forgot about. The Hulk at the first was transformed by the day-night cycle. So when it is night, he transformed into the Incredible Hulk. When it's sun, he transformed back to Bruce Banner. Now, this is something most people know. And oh yeah, he was a green in the first issue, then they turned him into green because I think there was a problem with coloring. But this is not the only thing that was weird and different about the first 6 issues, because the day and night cycle was only in the first 2 issues. They changed it, but not to the angry transformation. No, uh, Bruce Banner actually cured from being the Hulk. He's turned to normal and he cannot transform anymore. So it was over, but he decided to make a gamma beam that transformed him to the Hulk. Why? I have no idea. It's like, you've been cured. That's the entire idea, that you don't want to be a monster anymore. So why did that to yourself? Because I think they want to change the story. It didn't work the first issue when he transformed at night, because you only will have a hero who only work at night. So they did this. But this is even worse idea. So they change it again. They make him like stuck as the Hulk 24/7, and then make him something happen to his brain, so he become a slave to Rick Jones. So Rick just give him order all day, and then he cured kinda. He become Hulk in body, but his face and head is a Bruce Banner, so he need a mask to be fully Hulk. Uh, so it is kind of weird. There are like no any established thing happen on. And the worst part is like there are no arc, there are no big story. Like each issue is a small story or a group of smaller story, like two stories, sometimes three, and none of them is that good. There was okay. I make a small note about the stories that was there. There are the Gargoyle, which is I think the first or the second issue, which is the best story in this collection. And there was Aliens, which is not that great. There was that guy called Ringmaster, which is a group of people who work a circus, and he can like control people's mind, and not that great. I even forgot that it was a thing. Apparently, when I did some research about this, Ringmaster have a lot of appearance in the maybe Bronze Age and Silver Age, even some cameo here and there, but he didn't take off, of course, because and there was some story about fake aliens who turned out to be from Soviet Russia, just to try to trick the Hulk. There was this story about a guy called Tyrannos, and I have no idea who this guy is. Apparently, he have a lot of appearance in comic also, but I never heard about him before. He have a great helmet, but that is it. Like I think he is like Roman warrior who like fight and want to conquer the world. I have no idea. There was this story about guy called General Fang, very racist stereotype kind of story, and this guy who called Metal Master, which is I think the last story in the collection. He is like Magneto, but on asteroid. He can control metal, and not only in magnetic way like Magneto. He can just make metal do whatever he wants. The Hulk beat him by using the power of trick him to think he have a metal weapon, but he have a carbon, a cardboard made weapon, and like yeah, okay. And like I said, there only one good story or two good story in the entire 6 issues, and they're nothing you will make you want to continue reading. I surprised I pick up volume 2. There was so many this is red stories, or like this is communist story, which is even volume 2 this happened. I will say the artwork is amazing. I mean, Jack Kirby, and Jack Kirby is very good when it comes to horror. That like a huge guy horror. Ditko pick up on volume 2, and he more about like the creepy kind of horror, and he did amazing too. There also that thing about repeating the origin of the Hulk every single issue in this 6 issues, which is gets a lot of boring after while. I want to escape, but I want to see if there will be a little change here and there, and like that every time, like 2 or 3 pages just to repeat the same thing. And there are so many misunderstandings. Yeah, of course we know this is oh, believe me, I didn't do this, and like because Rick Jones don't want to expose the Hulk secret, and it's just like a big secret because the Hulk, and we see this weird thing now because we all know that everyone know who the Hulk is, but for a long time, even Volume 2, we didn't. No one know who the Hulk is until much later. So this is about Hulk Masterwork Volume 1, which is, I think it was bad, very very bad, even by those time standards. I read Fantastic Four, Volume 1, which is amazing. I read X-Men Volume 1 and 2, which was good, better than this. And I think I read part of Thor, which is, I don't remember that much about Thor. Which I read too about, like, Spider-Man? No, I didn't read Spider-Man yet. But Hulk is not that great. I read a few other things from this era, but maybe singles issues and stuff. So Hulk was weak. Now, Masterwork 2 is totally different story. Like, totally different story. Like, it's very weirdly different story. I just want to be sure I didn't miss the change here. Yeah, it is Stan Lee and Dick Ayers, and then the first story, and then the second story was who? Steve Ditko. Yeah, this is what changed everything. Steve Ditko, I think, changed everything because Volume 2 starts with a small story because it is not in the Hulk magazine. It was in the Tales of Astonishing, and it was at that time Tales of Astonishing was Ant-Man or Giant Man magazine. He didn't go with Ant-Man name, he gone with the Giant Man and the Wasp names. So Hulk was like a guest star in Giant Man magazine. And he only have this one small story, like intro by Stan Lee and the guy I just mentioned his name. What was? Dick Ayers, which is, I will say, it was not that great story, but it is like the intro for Hulk in this magazine, and then everything changed. After that, it was a long arc that never changed. Every story of the Hulk from this moment on are not single story. There are like a continuation after continuation. It's like each story end with a cliffhanger or something that will lead to something else. It was not the same thing. It was like very long continuation story. It's just long arc. Even they advertise it as a drama. This is the only drama opera superhero story. This is how they call it, and it is because it is like a novel more than a comic. This is a very modern take on comic at this point. Um, so let me just read the note here. Uh, there are the first story like start with this Bruce Banner making a red robot suit like Iron Man kind of suit, but it's much heavier and very strong. I think he make it to fight the Hulk in case he needs something to fight the Hulk. And it is and then this was this guy who spy. I don't think we find out who he is yet. I think they forgot about this in the story, or I maybe forgot this part about the story. And Hulk is like take him, and we still need to know who he is, but he's commanded by a guy named the Leader. We have no idea who he is at this point. And then he also have a guy named the Charmeleon. I think he's Spider-Man villain who can change his face. I think he's a master of disguise. So we have a team of villains, and we don't face them all at the same time. We have this guy, mysterious guy named the Leader. We don't see his face until much later. If you expert in comics, you know who the Leader is. And he command this guy in red suit and the Charmeleon. And we have this epic story at this side. Just see how this is complicated. We have the Leader now, okay? And his team, number one. Hulk get captured by the army. So we have this story about the army. And then we got this new guy named Glenn Talbot, which is, I think, one of the second most important uh, thing added to the story so far, because we have the leader, amazing major villain to challenge the Hulk, and then we have Glenn Talbot, which is the romantic challenge, and he is something I see a lot in the Marvel comic. We have the guy that you should like against the he work against the main character, but not a villain. Glenn Talbot is a patriot, a guy who's loyal to his country, who love his country, who will fight his country. He's a genuine good guy, but he hates the Hulk. He's like John Jameson in Spider-Man. I don't remember seeing Glenn before in any movie or comic, so maybe I forgot him. Maybe he was a character I saw but forget the name. He's an amazing guy. In the comic at last so far, he's an amazing character. Maybe something else changed because comic. But he is a very amazing edit. He put a lava triangle between him and Betty Rose and Bruce Banner, which is added to drama, like I said, drama. And this is spy drama. This is something about spy drama, like about who did this, who behind all this attack, who behind all this spying. It's this amazing story. And I'm not sure if this happened in one of the Avengers comic before this storyline, or in the Fantastic Four or Spider-Man, because Hulk before between Hulk 6 and the Astonishing, his series in Astonishing, he was in the Fantastic Four one issue, he was in Amazing Spider-Man one issue, and he was in the Avenger for few issues. I'm not sure if it was one of those issues where we learn that Hulk can transform because of anger, or it is something happened later. But we find out here that Hulk is, yeah, I transform because of my blood pressure when I am angry or excited. So we change that to something very simple and something very relatable. Uh, transform by anger. Everyone can understand this. So another thing the leader did, that he sent his minion, which is a bunch of pink robots. These pink robots remind me of Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z. They are pink and they work like gum, which is make them amazing challenge against the Hulk, because Hulk is all about brutal strength, and this is something brutal strength will not work to, because they can absorb any attack, and there are like horde of them. They are really scary thing to fight the Hulk. Hulk like have no idea how to fight something like that, and there are really interesting foot soldier to fight against the Hulk. This is also amazing thing. Then there are this small arc called I call it the Red Prison, because the Bruce Banner get captured by a group of Russian in a submarine, and then they took him as a prisoner. Oh, we will not feed you until you work for us. And there are other scientists who is a prisoner for the Red, and it is like it's very political propaganda kind of story, but it's very good because Hulk make a friend with this prisoner guy, and Hulk didn't want to be his friend at the beginning, but this guy sacrificed his life for the Hulk, and Hulk is very angry, and it's very amazing action story at that point. After that, we have this epic finale kind of story. Like, it's not the finale, but it's like you feel like it's finale. Bruce Banner stuck as the Hulk because there are bullets in his head. If he transforms back to Bruce Banner, he will die. At the same point, the leader send the giant pink robot, not just normal pink robot, but big giant pink robot that Godzilla level, which is awesome fight. The military had to use atomic bomb that not radioactive, thank God, and bomb him to oblivion. Hulk survived by inch. So because there are bullets in his head and the military after him now, the the leader tell him, "Come with me and I will help you." And we are green people need to be stick together, green together, strong, stuff like that. So the Hulk like, okay, I will join you. And then we have this small arc about Hulk and the leader. The leader wanted to test his power and then sent him to space. Uh, and for oh yeah, the leader removed the bullet from Hulk's head because it was a plot point that they want to change. So the Hulk now own his life to the leader, but he still cannot transform to Banner back. So he own him his life. So okay, I own you a favor. So I want you to go to space to this guy named the Watcher. The Watcher was in Fantastic Four once so far, I think, and he was like this is kind of crossover things that happened at that time. Still happen, but it was a new thing to happen. Like a character facing another character villain or another side character from another comic was not heard of back then. Batman only face his own villain. Superman only face his own villain. If Superman saw the Joker, I need to call Batman. I can't deal with this guy. This guy is crazy. And but here in Marvel, no, this is one full world. Hulk will see the Watcher and will not need to call Fantastic Four for this. Like, oh yeah, I can deal with this guy. He can't, but it's different story. It's like very big epic story because the Watcher cannot interfere with anything. Hulk can take anything he want, which is there are this thing like a ball that the leader wants, but there are another guy who wants it. So the Watcher like watch them because he's the Watcher. Steal his thing. Like I cannot interfere with this people. Steal my stuff. We find out later that he was planning all this, and this was like amazing fight because that monster was big like the Hulk. So we have a giant versus giant monster attack. So it was amazing. And then Hulk back with this thing, and the Watcher, oh yeah, you can take my things. Like, oh, okay. So he give the ball to the leader. Now I don't own you anything. Like, ha ha ha, I don't care. And put the ball on his head. The leader put this ball on his head, and like this is the knowledge of the entire universe, and he died. That was anticlimactic. If I was a kid at the 60s, I would be angry. Like, is that how you kill the leader? It was like built for something big. And now I know that he will survive this, but like, hey, you can't kill him like this. This is stupid. Then we have a small arc about the T-gun. Like, this is stupid, by the way. Let me explain this. Bruce Banner, who the military consider him a traitor, and he's the Hulk, but they don't know that, but they think he's traitor and he work with the Soviet or work with the Hulk, so they hate him. They found that he have a plan for something called T-gun, so they build it. Why? This is something a traitor build plan, so you have no idea if this will be booby trap that maybe hurt you or hurt or destroy the entire country. And then we find out that they don't know what the T stand for. So T-gun, what does T stand for? We don't know. We need to make it and use it to know what it's do. Like this is stupid, and it's just so stupid that actually two military guys told the General Thunderbolt Rose like, dude, this is can be a trap. It can hurt her out. Shut up. The only way to know is to use it. And they used it. and they shot it at the Hulk who was going to the White House. For something a very long, complicated story, and they shot him, and he disappeared. I'm like, what happened? We have no idea. Like, we use a gun that we don't know what to do against something we don't know what his power is, and from the White House. What if the Hulk explode in atomic energy and destroy the entire White House and destroy this? Why you fire a gun you don't know what to do? Why you use a weapon you don't know what? Anyway, oh yeah, I forgot two important stories. Rick Jones saved Bruce Banner from being tried for treason by going to the president himself, which they didn't call him the president. He called the man in the White House. Hey, it's the president, and the president do not trial Bruce Banner for treason. He saved him twice, I think, and Rick Jones was there to. No, Rick Jones was not there. It's very weird. Rick Jones was in prison for because he will not tell Bruce Banner's secret and the Hulk secret, and Hulk find out about that, so he got to the White House to tell the president to save Rick Jones. And here they saw him going to the White House. Hey, gonna kill the president, shoot him, and they shot him with the T gun. T gun stands for time gun. Time gun will send you temporarily to the future. Now we have a future arc. Hulk in the future, white future people, and like I said, very long story. There are this guy called the Executioner. I cannot pronounce his name. The Executioner. He is one of Thor villains. He was doing something there. The story in the future is also complicated. I'm not sure who's the villain is. Anyway, after a long fight, Hulk returned. But everyone was thinking Hulk is dead and he was disappeared for so long. So they finally let Rick Jones go out of jail. He was sad that Bruce Banner is dead, Hulk is dead. So he was like, I cannot keep the secret anymore. So he told the Glenn Talbot that, Bruce Banner and Hulk are the same person. Like, oh my god. And then he gone to Betty Rose and Hulk and Bruce Banner are the same person. Oh my god. And now everyone know. But this does not matter because Bruce Banner is dead, Hulk is dead. Oh, like, fuck. He come back. And I think because this is when the last important thing that happened this volume, which I think is brilliant. This is what changed the Hulk from everyone else at Marvel and everyone else at all comic at that time. He is a superhero who is hated by the government, who is hunted by the government, and everyone know who he is. He does not have secret identity. Hulk is a Bruce Banner. This is something everyone know. He's a superhero on the hunt. People are hunting him. The government hunting him. Other superheroes hunting him. Everyone hates him. And everyone know who he is. And this is like a small story about this science guy who I'm not sure who he is, who gone to fight the Hulk, use the Hulk too, because I don't believe in gamma ray power. I believe in cell organic energy power. It's much better. What kind of scientist are you? And he tried to kill the Hulk to get to understand his organic energy power and stuff like that, and then take over the world and come on. I didn't like that guy so much. I'm not sure if he's one of the big characters, but then the story actually ends with a very simple story about Hulk fighting against Hercules. Hercules is one of a Marvel character that I don't see that many people talk about him that much. I don't think he was in any video game. At least in the fighting games, he was not in any of them. He's not. He was not in any movie too. He was because he is Hercules, and I don't think he's that marketable. But he's a cool guy. He was in Avengers. He was in Defenders. He was. I think he was in the first Marvel Alliance game. I think for a time when Hulk was dead, he was replaced him as a main character in the comic with Amanda Cho. I'm not sure if that the name. He's a cool guy. That run was actually very successful. I didn't read it, but people say a lot of great thing about it. So we have a big fight between Hulk and Hercules in a train. It was funny, love fight. It didn't lead to anything, and the collection ended this. When I said Incredible Hulk Masterwork Volume 1 suck, I mean it suck, it's very awful. But Masterwork 2 is where the Hulk become the Hulk. Everything you love about the Hulk in Marvel Masterwork 2. The problem is, I think you should read the first Masterwork first. Maybe the first Avenger Masterwork 2. I'm not sure about the issue where the Fantastic Four and Hulk fight and Spider-Man fight, but I think the Avengers is very important. I love what I read. I want to read the Masterwork 3 as fast as I can, but I'm reading something else. I may talk about it here too. I don't want this series to be very long videos, but this Masterwork in particular have a lot of things happen to it. Do you know how much I skipped? So many things. This comic in particular is amazing. This collection is amazing. I highly recommend to pick up the Incredible Hulk Masterwork number 2. It's very amazing. But try to also read the Masterwork one. Okay, this is something I say a lot to my friend when you read old comic, old book, watch old anime, old movie, old cartoon, and any of this stuff. This is enjoyable, but not in normal kind of enjoyment. It's like you enjoy reading a piece of history. You watch a silent movie, not like because in the normal way you watch movie like Avengers. No, you watch it like, oh, this is like I'm seeing something from this era, from the 20s, from the 30s. And reading Masterwork 1 and 2 from the Hulk is like that. The first one, like, oh, this is where Hulk was starting. I forgot to tell you about the weird stuff. Like I said, like Hulk was flying for like issue or two, and then they dropped it. Like, oh yeah, he was jumping, but no, they was trying to make him fly, and they forgot about this. They tried to do a lot of weird things at the beginning, and that all changed. They want to make him normal kind of superhero, but didn't work. And then we see how Masterwork like show those characters a bit. Like I said, when I say I love Glenn, I'm looking now at the bitch that make me love him a lot. He's genuinely good guy. He just think Hulk must be stopped. And I can't blame him for this because even if the Hulk he didn't do anything wrong, he's uncontrollable piece of rage. If Hulk was real, I want the government to stop him. And like I said, I like the idea of a character who is opposite to the main character, but not a evil villain. He's just someone disagreeable with you, like John Jameson from Spider-Man. If you read Spider-Man a lot, you will know that Jameson is actually very genuinely good guy. He just hates Spider-Man. There was this moment in the movies in this Sam Raimi movies where I think Green Goblin get John Jameson and want to kill him. Tell me who give you the images for Spider-Man, or I will kill you. I will not tell you. Like, this guy was so hateable. He hates Spider-Man so much, but he will not expose Peter Parker. He is genuinely good guy. Any other asshole would just, alright, this guy, kill him. And John Jameson have like that stand when people was attacking a mutant. I don't remember what issue, but I saw like one single page. Someone was attacking a mutant, like say that like they all American. This is racism and unacceptable. Like, wow, you actually a good guy who love everyone, who's against racism, against all this stuff. But I hate Spider Man. And Glenn and actually, General Thunderbolt Rose is the same thing. There are genuinely very good people who is General Rose love his daughter so much and care about her so much. He care about his country so much. He is patriotic. He's loyal to his country. Also, Galen, but they really hate the Hulk because the Hulk must be stopped. It is something we don't see in DC comic or any other comic at that era. That someone who is genuinely good guy but against the main character, which I think amazing. I'm looking up to read more comic and other stuff with you in this channel. I'm sorry if you hate the way I want to make videos. This is just me talking gameplay or something else in the background and not much editing. Think about it as mini video podcast, not a full fledged podcast or like 1 hour or so, like just me talking about things I want to talk about. So if you don't like this kind of stuff, I'm sorry, and I hope to see you with other video here. Make a comment, tell me if you want me to read something or watch something, and see you next video. Next video, I'm reading by now. By the way, now, Supergirl Silver Age Volume 1, which is will be an interesting read. See you next time.